All right, welcome back from that break, and straight up we'll move to the interview segment of today's episodes, and still in the mood of the off-circuit election that was conducted in the last weekend, and we have our guest who will be helping us in, we'll be interacting with him on those issues trending as regards to the last gubernatorial elections in Kogi, Imo, and some other Bayelsa states. Our guest is Ambassador Mario Emmanuel. Is the Director General, Coalition of Nigeria Youth on Security and Safety Affairs. Mr. Ambassador Emmanuel, good morning, sir. Good morning to you, my dearest brother. And good morning to Nigerians.
Good morning, sir. Thanks for joining us this morning.
Thank you so much.
How is your hand this morning? Yeah. And how is the weather?
Yeah, the weather over here this morning is very pleasant.
Okay.
It's a wonderful one. And because today is pleasant, this morning is pleasant, we know the whole of the day will be very pleasant.
Thank you for those comments. We really appreciate that, and we'll move straight. Just like we said, it's about the off-circuit election that was conducted last weekend, and we want to have your assessment and some comments about the elections, the conduct, the process before and during, and even after the election. Sir, can we have your comment on the just concluded election in Kogi, Imo, and Bayelsa?
Yeah, briefly, I want to say good morning to Nigerians once again. The election just concluded in part of the country, especially Kogi State, Imo State, and Bayelsa State. It's one of the elections that will become the talk of the sign for the whole of this year, in the sense that the election did not record more of killing as it used to be in the past.
Okay.
This morning, I make bold to say to Nigerians that we are getting it right gradually.
Okay.
In times of election conduct.
Okay.
But be it as it may, I want Nigerians to note these three things.
Okay.
Number one, we are ripe for online voting, for e-voting in this country.
Okay.
This will reduce more of
stress.
Huge stress. It will reduce more of exorbitant spending from politicians and government ourselves.
Okay.
And one of our biggest observations at the course of this Saturday election is that politicians push more funds to get political office, which at the end of the day, because of money influence, INEC is not getting expected results. And in some way, affect the governance
of each
affect
state.
the governance of the country, especially when it has to do with the leadership of such a state. The situation where a governorship candidate ends down spending about 5-10 billion to emerge as a governor in a particular state.
Imagine.
How will the person perform without entitlement?
Exactly.
Without
first
changing the citizen of that state.
Exactly.
So for INEC to get it right, holistically for a better electionary process, e-voting is one of the best way to go.
Okay.
That is number one. Then number two, security-wise, we've observed as citizens at large that security plays vital role
in elections,
in ensuring there is a peaceful conduct
and
of
orderliness,
elections,
yes,
either in a state, in a local government, and at the level of wards. But yet, we see some security agencies selling out at the detriment of the mandate they are given and at the detriment of the mandate of their agencies. So therefore, if the e-voting comes on board, it will reduce the workload of the security agencies going to local communities for the sake of monitoring elections. Then thirdly, as observed during this last election, we see some places where INEC officials compromise.
okay,
Why do they compromise? They compromise because somebody who in the last 10, 15 years of being in service has not had the opportunity to ask 2 million gathered to be able to do anything meaningful, either for himself or the extended family. But the politician is coming at a
offering him that.
to offer 5 million for such a civil servant who is an INEC official.
Sure.
My dearest brothers, my dearest sister, you will agree with me that such a person must definitely fall victim of going for the money, because he definitely knows
It's a
that in the
juicy
next
offer for
4
him.
years of his service to the country, that he will not have opportunity of getting such money. So the third point is that INEC should look at how its personnel, how its officials can be better taken care of, so that when politicians bring some of these peanuts to them, they will start running away from it. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much for those comments and for those observations. But from the comments you've made, I want to ask you, what, in your own judgment or your assessment, do you think the last election, were they fair, transparent enough? I mean, were they free and fair and transparent enough in your own assessment?
Yes, in my own perspective as an individual and as a Nigerian, a patriotic Nigeria for that matter,
Okay.
I want to say this at my own capacity as
Okay.
Ambassador Emmanuel,
Okay.
that the 3-state election that was conducted was not free, was not fair, and the process lacked merit.
Merits.
On two notes, on two grounds.
Okay.
Firstly, the INEC compromising.
And the security agents, as
Secondly,
you've claimed.
The security agencies that were used, especially in Imo, you discover that if I don't know if you have access to that clip where the civil defense have to until some officers
of the
who were
Nigerian,
coming to kind of do away with ballot
boxes, exactly.
in a polling unit.
Yes.
And those civil defense, they stood their ground that this cannot happen. And they stood their ground and they were able to drive away those officers with the politicians that came with them. Now, the point that I'm driving to is this, that the compromising of some INEC, some few INEC officials, the compromising of some few security personnel made the whole process that INEC has laid down. Now, INEC is also justified by cancelling some polling units, some wards, and also postponing election in some
other
places. Just like we saw in Bayelsa,
yeah,
where an aide was arrested with arms and was nakeded. But for us, it was wrong for anybody to naked anyone. You have breached the fundamental right
of that
such
individual.
Yeah. So we have condemned both in press statements and in other media spaces.
Okay.
Now, compromising an election, I also want to bring this on board. I made a press statement on Wednesday preceding the Saturday election.
Okay.
And I said that politicians should stop giving arms and money to Nigerian youth, inducing them as an instrument
to win themselves
to
election.
betray INEC good process of having a successful election in every part of the state in the country.
Okay.
Now, I want you to pick this as a message, and I want the whole Nigerians to hear.
Okay.
Politicians are the ones patronizing the Nigerian youth who are instruments aiding the activities of ringing, robbing, and causing chaos in different polling units across
Nigeria,
every state where election holds. If politicians stop giving arms to the youth, stop giving them money to go and disrupt election, I want to tell you, Nigeria as a country will be holding the most successful election in the history of the world. So it is very simple that what aid the election not to be free and fair is because the politicians have seen youth, Nigerian youth, to be precise, as jobless, as people who are hungry, that can always give them arms,
when you don't have anything to offer
to
them.
go and cause chaoses in different polling units and in different local governments where elections are being held. And this also follows suit of the activities of some few INEC officials and security agencies. Thank you.
All right. Sorry, from those comments you've made, and I want to refer us back to the earlier comment you made about e-voting.
Okay.
Owing to these antecedents you've highlighted now, do you think we are matured enough to conduct an e-voting in Nigeria, considering those points you've made, that despite the fact that we are not into e-voting now, we still maneuver and manipulate results? Don't you think going for e-voting, the high risk of maneuvering and manipulating will be on high side, considering the present situation we have in Nigeria? And despite the fact that every sector is corrupt, yes, every sector is as corrupt as anything you can think of in Nigeria.
Now, let me quickly help you. Firstly, that Nigeria is an advanced country, that we have this younger generation that can build websites that will be difficult for anybody to hack and bring down.
Okay.
In fact, I must tell you this in confidence. In the whole world, we have young Nigerians who can build more sites and more online apps that can successfully undo any criminal app nor site, as far as the world is concerned.
Okay.
Now, I must also bring your attention to this fact, that one of the reasons why it looks as if that all efforts to get things right in this country always look difficult is because there are some saboteurs. And that is why we are saying that when these saboteurs are pushed aside, by the virtue of rejecting the peanuts they are bringing to the table, by the virtue of rejecting whatsoever they are offering to betray the future generation, it is more beneficial to the general citizenry of the country. But be it as it may, we must also understand as Nigerians that we are very knowledgeable, we are very advanced. Immediately there is a single problem at the moment, we know how to improvise.
Yeah.
So if INEC can be sincere and be ready, my brother, I am telling you, it costs us nothing to have an election as far as this country is concerned that will be the best that has ever happened in the history of the world.
Thanks so much.
The only challenge is corruption and the spirit of inability to let go the criminal mindset that has been embedded in us by the virtue of past antecedents of leaders, which has actually created a sense of belonging that political activities is all about money making. Let me get there and make my own money. Heaven will not fall. So when this mindset is changed, I want to tell you, if INEC is ready today that we want to conduct best, free and fair election, we can successfully do it as a country.
Thank you so much, Ambassador.
Now, taking a look at the Election Petition Tribunal of the presidential polls, now LP and PDP candidates of Imo State has ordered INEC to call off the election or they go to court. Do you think seeking redress in court will serve justice to the opposition parties?
Yeah, the truth is this, that as far as Nigerian judiciary is concerned, immediately a party that is in power is declared winner in any state.
Yeah.
Rest assured, it will be very difficult for anybody to unseat such a person. For example, the case of Imo State, the APC were so wise to have a very wide margin. So now, going to the court will only cancel some few. Cancelling those few will not still give either PDP or Labour Party the edge to win.
Advantage, yeah.
And this I will call your attention to, that these three states are very peculiar. Why are they peculiar for APC? Imo State is an oil producing state.
Yes.
Bayelsa State is an oil producing state.
Yes.
Kogi State is an oil producing state. You want opposition to take it? No, it will not. It will not happen. So the city party will do everything possible to make sure that their person is there, so that they can be able to run a fair together in a mutual way, no understanding, either for mutual benefit or for the general benefit of the country. But for some of us, it is for the general benefit of the country. Okay. Thank you.
Now, people have complained about the manner in which the Labour Party chairman was beaten and bundled out while trying to make a point. Now, the issue of whether INEC, in its engagement with political parties, should prepare for how to react to the possibility of loss, or should it be the responsibility of INEC or that of the political party to prepare themselves so that whenever it happens that they actually lost the election, they would know how to react and not cause unrest in the country?
Now, the truth is that INEC is not supposed to be, INEC is not supposed to defend any party during tribunal, no appeal, no Supreme Court. INEC is supposed to be an umpire. Make their position known by the virtue of their involvement during the election. Present their document vis-a-vis as it happens during the election. The court has the right to come and say, INEC, come and send out the document before you. Let us consider document A, B, and yours. Okay. To see if it tallies. Then let us see where their excuses are coming from. Now, the point I want to bring out from here is this, that INEC should learn to stay put on their lane without interfering on other parties' position during tribunal. Now, that has actually affected the INEC technically, as far as this country is concerned, because some Nigerians, especially myself speaking, I'm not speaking for myself.
Okay.
I see INEC being biased by coming to court some of the time to make position for some political parties, which is wrong. So let political parties
defend themselves.
Let INEC now come and speak based on their involvement, not in defense of who we.
All right, still in the mood of from the conversation with Ambassador, do you think, I want to go back to the question we asked him earlier. What's your take on the point that Nigeria should go for e-voting?
Like he said, I think I agree with him, because like he said, it will ease the whole stress, like he said, and it would not be easy to manipulate.
Do you think it won't be easily manipulated?
Yeah, I feel so, because when we try it, we will see. But in my opinion, I feel it won't be easily. I don't say it won't be manipulated, but it won't be easily, because no one can just hire thugs to, okay, what do thugs actually want to do when it's via it's e-voting or whatever. So that's what I feel.
But don't we know we have some high-tech guys in the world now that will be employed in every of these political parties, that you are working for us and help us look into the system and possibly hijack, hack into the system and manipulate things to their favor?
Well, that is also an issue, because I feel okay, the normal voting, it has its own advantages.
Exactly.
But all we need to do is, I feel we just need to kind of wait which one will actually be better for us. But in my opinion, I still feel that even aside the manipulation, whatever, so is the stress, and there'll be no issue of, okay, this person was killed at the polling unit, this so thing happened. It actually reduce.
Honestly, I was one of those who were calling for e-voting before now, but on the other side, I was also thinking, would there not be manipulation? But unless we give it a trial, we will not know exactly. Yeah. Then again, there's this question that keeps coming to my mind. I've observed in most cases, in recent times in elections in Nigeria, that the turnout of people, electorate, had been drastically reduced. People don't go out to vote. Does this really have effects, or what impact?
It does. I feel the reason why people actually do this is because, everybody has it in their head that if I go and vote, whoever they want to win,
that will eventually
my vote doesn't actually count. And other people actually, the fear of violence in polling units and whatever. That is why I feel like some people actually stay back. I can't risk my life to, because in case anything happens, nobody else get that. Exactly. Head, so those are the reasons why I feel that there is actually low turnout for election.
Want to say a very big thank you to Ambassador Emmanuel, the DG CONYSSA, who has been able to put us through and made his point known regarding the off-circuit election that was conducted in Kogi, Bayelsa, and Imo State. He has been able to make some facts and points. At first he commended INEC for the elections, and on the other side, he also made points about security agencies and some INEC officials who compromised the election. And he also was of a view that it's high time that we'll start going for e-voting in Nigeria, and which we believe, unless we make a trial when it comes to e-voting, we will not know if it's going to be maneuvered or not. And on that note, This is where we wrap up on the interview segment for today. I will go on a short break, and when we are back, we'll review headline stories.